But when it comes to everyday life, and it's hard for me to not believe that I'm not the doer. And always I think I have to do something. That is me is responsible to take the kids to school. It is me. I have to do something that is very strong. That is me, that I have to control that my kids are in certain time at home.
Who's me?
Who is the me? Layla.
Who takes the kids to school?
Me. I.
And who's that?
So this body and mind, I mean, it's hard to point to it, but with all together, I mean.
Yeah, and so that body and mind is a biological instrument, right? There is no,
yes,
there isn't
correct.
Other than the instrument that is designed to function. So the taking kids to school happens. The belief in personal doership is the idea that there is a me outside, a me doer, a me controller that is independent to the instrument. So the doership simply doesn't understand the mechanism by which taking kids to school happens. So it inserts itself into the activity, into the functioning, and says, oh, I did that. Whereas if we delete the one that says, I did that, the taking kids to school would happen anyway. So
but if I don't take the kids to school,
no, I'm not telling you not to take the kids to school.
I'm meaning that the guilt arises. For example, it's just an example. I don't take the kids to school, so this guilt
you're thinking non-doership means not taking your kids to school. What non-doership means is there is no one taking your kids to school, but the kids are getting taken to school. So there is a biological instrument taking the kids to school. The kids are a biological instrument as well. And the mother is a biological instrument, but there is no doer there. So non-doership doesn't mean stop taking your kids to school. It means see that there is no one taking your kids to school.
Yeah, no, what I meant that not the feeling of the blame and guilt, it's what is that part in non-doership? For example, if I wouldn't take my kids to school, or I wouldn't, for example, make food, or just as an example, this guilt and blame and shame, is a biological too? Biological?
No, that's the belief that there is a me that should be doing that. And so then the guilt happens. But you see, the question is, you don't choose whether you take them to school or you don't take them to school. That's destiny unfolding. That's the biological instrument functioning. The doership, the belief in doership is the non-recognition that there is no me. There is no doer. There is no one taking the kids to school.
That would be the greatest thing in my life, and there wasn't no me, and I really know it. That would be the best thing happen in my life, because this me is always troubles me. This belief in me, it's always a big problem.
When there is a recognition that there is no me, your life will continue to be that you'll still the kids will still get taken to school by the mother. So there never has been a me. Even when you think there's a me, there never has been a me. The me is just a psychological interpretation. So that's what the teaching is saying. There's just the happening of life and no one doing it.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about what happens if you say, oh, I feel guilty for not taking them to school. That's because there is a me that thinks it was the one that didn't take them to school, but that was destiny that didn't take them to school, and it's destiny that takes them to school. So
thank you so much.
You definitely shouldn't believe that there is no doer. It needs to be understood. What does doership point to? What is the attitude of doership? So the attitude of doership turns up in your attitude of guilt towards what happened or what didn't happen. And that attitude of guilt says, I, the doer, should have done it differently. And the teaching is saying there is no one that does it. There is life happening, and it happens one way. And then it's the attitude of doership that comes in and says, oh, I should have done it differently. And I'm saying there is no I that did it in the first place. The I should have done it differently is the attitude of a doer. So don't worry, it'll click.
Thank you so much, Roger. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.